Anybody okay? No.
Is anybody
Sorry,
okay?
I choked on some water. Let's start over.
Welcome to the Broski Doodles podcast. It's your boy Kiko Flow, Kiko Cervantes. Like always, Kiko Flow here with you every week, every week. We got DJ BJ in the motherfucking mix. When he's not out there doing the dark arts, he's with us talking about life in the party. So the Broski Noodles, the Broski Doodles, we in here with a bunch of poodles. Everybody wanna ask what the fuck we do though? You know what to do though.
Oh shit.
Subscribe to the thing, share it to your homies, leave comments. If you have topics or movies that you would like us to review, leave it on the comments. At the moment right now, because we're not that successful yet, we can actually fulfill this request. So take advantage of it. In the future, you'll be completely ignored.
Absolutely. I don't even know who you are anymore.
I don't even... What? Bro, I'm fucking fascinated by a recent... Yeah, it's pretty recent thing that's been happening in the world. And actually not even in the world. It's right outside the world. It's in the space. It's in the... you know how like we have satellites going around space? Around the Earth, right? But they're technically in space. They're connected to Earth by this gravitational pull, but they're in space. And one of those satellites that we have going around is the International Space Station.
Okay.
Right? And this is kind of like it's like a place where like you can go and like chill, right? Like people from other countries come and this is like our meeting spot in space. You know, it's kind of like you know, like a rest stop when you're out, you know. Like
before
I-95.
Before you're gonna take the turnpike to go out into Mars and shit, right?
Right. There's a rest stop. So like here's where people meet, right? So there's all sorts of agreements between like the NASA, which is the United States Space Force, and for example the Russians, right? Because well, let's just say there's been some disagreements along the years. And then you have the European Space Commission, who also sends astronauts up there, right? So you have the whole world like sending people there.
You also have China sending people there.
I didn't mention China, not because I have anything against them, although I might have, but it's because I don't even think they're allowed in that station. This is something I will need to double check. Yeah, the Russians are, China no. So we need to look at it.
It is the ISS, the International Space Station. I do. I mean, that you could be right.
Can Chinese astronauts go to International Space Station? China is not an ISS partner, and no Chinese nationals have been aboard.
What? Oof. Oh, damn. That's news to me. I learned that today.
It seems that they have been banned from going to the space station since 2011. So you see?
Wow, that's news to me.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not gonna go really into the topics of why they're banned, mainly because I don't know. But yeah, they're not allowed. So so you can't really have any more like Chinese food up there, you know, which is sad. It is a loss at the end.
I mean, you could probably have some noodles though, right?
I mean, you can have noodles, but are you gonna make them like my boy Wang?
Probably not.
If you said yes, that would have been racist. Because I mean, you believe yourself to be superior to the original culture. No, but dude, so let me tell you about the International Space Station. So you got this Russian spaceship, right? That docked, right? He's like, hey guys, I'm just docking in the International Space Station. There were already 4 other astronauts just chilling, probably doing a lot of fucking. I mean, that's what I would. I mean, if you're out there. Or maybe if you come up there, your dick explodes because of the atmospheric pressure. I don't know. But there was already 4 people chilling there. And then 3 more came in this new spaceship. It's like, hey guys, real quick, I'm a dock in. So you dock. Well, something happened. Apparently something must have hit the shuttle. And something started leaking, which is the fuel that they need to keep the place hot. So pretty much it makes the spaceship kind of not safe to use.
The original Russia spaceship.
Right.
So now they're stranded. Now they're stuck on.
Now they're stranded. Now what happens? The other 4 people that are already there, they got their own shuttle that can carry 4. Right? And they don't need to go anywhere right now. They're just chilling. Probably, like I said, doing like sexual orgies and shit.
Yeah.
But they cannot lend their spaceship to the Russians. I mean, probably
they
included
could.
in that. I mean, they could, but they're not going to. Probably because, they're Russians. But there is one American. It's 2 Russians and 1 American on the new ship. But the problem is, if they give them that ship, even though they don't need to use the ship right now, they're stranded.
Right.
And the thing is, being in the International Space Station is not like being at a retiree golf club in Sarasota, Florida, where you can just be chills and just order margaritas all day and just... No. This is a place that is not really 100% safe to be in. Why? Because this shit is going around space outside of the gravity of the Earth, where there's a lot of debris. And also, shit that just is in space. Space just has things. It has things flying.
You never know. At any point in time, something could hit the space station. The space station could leak, and they have to get the fuck out.
And you need to dip, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the shuttle that's fucked, it apparently was because some shit hit it, right? And then it started leaking. So being in the International Station, you're always on call. Like, hey, bro. Because what happens is, look, we just saw that there's some like rock that's coming, it's like 5 hours away, but the trajectory, we already saw it, and it's going to hit the space station, right?
So we have to get into the spaceship.
So get in the spaceship, we dip, and that's it.
Or wait to see if it hits. If it hits, we dip. If it doesn't, then we say, type shit,
This shit happened like in December, November of last year, 2022. Now, what's happening now is they're like, okay, so we need to send new ships to pick these people up, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, the ships they have can fit 3 people, right? Because they're the Russian ships. So they need to send 1 alone in the ship so that you can have 2 extra seats, arrive up there, get 2 of them, and then have another ship go and get the other one. So because now you need 2 ships. The other option is Elon Musk has a 4-man seater.
A 4-seater,
A coupe, if you will.
I said Dan.
Yeah. And this is from like the SpaceX, Dragon Force, whatever, he's doing some shit. So one of the things that is being studied is, well, does he lend them? And, lend them means like, hey, I rent this shit to you and you pay me money, you motherfucker, right? And then you can send one guy up. Because normally you don't go with just one guy in the ship, but this time you're gonna go just one so that he could go there. But imagine one guy doing everything. He has to like literally like Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar,
Wow.
He needs to go on his own dock, because normally you have like a dock specialist, right? And then you have like the driver. It's like, yo, I know how to drive. Then you got someone's like, hey, bro, I'm here like just cleaning the shit and like making the sandwiches. You know what I mean? Which is valuable. I mean, you need it.
Yeah, you need it. Yeah.
I mean, you need all aspects of it. So this guy has to do it all. Wow. I mean, does he get paid more for that? I would assume. I mean, I would have a conversation with my manager about that. Like, hey,
at the very least, yeah.
At the very least, in our next quarterly connect. So we're still waiting to see what happens, because apparently they need to wait until like February until they can send the new ship. Mm-hmm. And until then, this is like a fucking movie where we don't know yet what's gonna happen to them. I mean, we really hope that they all make it back home. Again, the stranded people are 2 Russians and 1 American.
Well, what happens then if between now and February they have a collision thing, right, where they have to leave? Now you got the 4-seater, you got the 4 original, and then 3 people that are there. Do they stay stranded? Do they stay there?
Right. So what I assume is the ones that have the ship to leave, the 4-seater, the coupe, they're like, hey, bro, we're gonna leave you the Monopoly game and the Uno cards and the Risk. So yeah, just do your thing.
Hey, I mean, the fridge is open. You can have whatever you want.
Yo, guys, you're in your house, okay? You're in your house.
Look, we're gonna go get some milk. We'll be right back.
Look, we're just gonna go check something real quick. And imagine if like, so that things don't get violent, the information is only given to the four. Right, and they kind of have to leave like, hey guys, so yeah, so me, Mike, Martha, and Jim, we're kind of gonna go. We're just gonna take a cruise around. So you guys need anything from the store? No, we're coming right back. Like milk, I mean, we can bring you milk. That's how fast we're going. All right, I got you, bro.
Oh damn.
I mean, I assume, and this is just me coming from, no knowledge at all in this. No, actually, I do have knowledge about the space because it is something that I'm passionate about. I believe the space station should have some thrusters that it can use, very limitedly. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have something to like travel and shit, but like enough to move itself from a location so that if there's gonna be a collision, they can at least move a bit, and you can, and with the technology, I mean, this is not too hard. You can predict and know exactly where the collision is gonna be. So by just moving yourself a little bit, you already avoid it. But I assume that you cannot do that with everything, right? Because you cannot have like an eye on every little material that's in space going at every direction, at all moments. So and you are going fast as fuck in the
right. You just don't see it because you're in the station in the thing.
Yeah.
But relative to us down here, it's pretty fast.
So that's happening. We'll see what happens. Maybe Matthew McConaughey or Matt Damon ends up going up there and saving them. Maybe Tom Cruise.
It's probably gonna be Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Or maybe one of the original astronauts, like Buzz Aldrin.
Like Buzz Aldrin. One of the dude, he's like 93 years old, bro. Like
he's the OG.
He is OG. Yeah, Buzz Aldrin. And speaking of Buzz Aldrin, he recently got married at the age of 93 with his longtime lover. And the Broski Doodles want to congratulate him because even at this day and age, he can still find love. And that's good. That's something that we need. We need positivity in this world.
I'm with that. I'm with the buzz. Hashtag I'm on a buzz.
It gives me hope.
Hashtag I'm buzzed. No, I like that because imagine sometimes I could be very cynical about life, and this guy is 93 and like looking forward to the next years, of his life with this person. Now, is this person he married like someone his age too, or like a young girl?
No, she looks more like I don't want to say she looks exactly his age, but like let's say he's 93, she looks like 60, 70. So it's not that far apart.
And 67?
Not between 60 and 70 years of age. I don't know exactly.
And how is it that this was like his long life love? So like when Buzz was 30, he was looking at this 5-year-old. He's like, one day.
No, I think you. I think they met each other like really far back, and they were like boyfriend and girlfriend, or they hung out and stayed close for a long time. But then only recently did they decide to marry her.
Like maybe they went separate lives, had marriages, had kids, and then now they're older. Like, oh, remember when we wanted to fuck, but we never did? Damn.
And now that we can't, we should.
Let's try it.
Let's try it.
I'll attach a pump to it. I'm an engineer.
I'm an engineer. Let's see.
I'm an engineer.
Long time girlfriend. But I mean, he probably has like a lot of people that are famous show up to his wedding. Like other astronauts and other.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think like what would be a Buzz Aldrin wedding party like?
Like, would he have it in space? Like, I mean, the logistics of that, having everybody in space to have a wedding,
I think that would be too crazy. But he could like simulate it or like do something like space themed.
Okay.
And like it's probably a cool party with other astronauts that are old. Maybe the young astronauts come in too. Maybe Tom Cruise randomly he's there.
Shows up since he's like a pilot. Like, hey, look, we're pilots.
He's like, hey, I did those Maverick movies.
I got inspired by you.
Top Gun. I do all my own stunts.
Oh my!
And I'm a Scientologist. Oh, okay. How the fuck did you get in here?
Oh man.
No, but yeah, it's probably a fire party. There's gonna be a lot of smart people, maybe a lot of engineers.
I mean, and then at that age, you're planning a party for all these people. You spare no expense to try to make it, very very decked out and lavish and stuff like that. I mean, how much do you think a wedding like that would cost? Like, how much do you think he would be willing to spend on a wedding? And he's 93. He's probably never gonna get married again. Like,
yeah,
this is the one and done kind of scenario.
Yeah, I mean, if you're 93, I mean, he's got to have a little bit of money. A wedding like that, at least 200 people.
At least,
which is not a lot. I mean, like, if one of us get married, it's not hard for a wedding to have 200 people. Like, you actually will need to cut shit, like, to get to 200. You know, if you really think about it, like, if you really think about it, like, you fill it up so quick. So he has at least 200 people. Because he's not gonna have like celebrities. I see him more like a family guy,
I mean, when I say celebrities, I mean like
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
yeah, like that, like
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Like I imagine Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye with some red cups from like Party City.
The red Solo cups from Party City.
It's Party City where you would like go buy things for like a party, right?
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a place that you go to party.
They would even like sponsor the event, like like, hey, look, it's Buzz Aldrin, like where they make it like a spaceship piñata or something, like or a balloon display, and really really do it up for him. But I think those days for Party City are coming to an end, like I think the party's over for Party City.
What do you mean?
Yeah. So supposedly last Tuesday, they declared bankruptcy.
Fuck.
Dude, like all these institutions from our childhood are dying out to competition and low sales from COVID.
Fuck. Is it the case that just people don't go to an establishment, a brick and mortar store, and get all of the equipment that you need to throw a party? Is it that we've changed our culture? Is it that we get it from Amazon? Is it that we get it from some other store? Or is it that Party City doesn't have the things that we would want in a party? I mean, what do you think is the answer there? Because I mean, Party City is like it's part of your childhood. It's part of like what you grew up with. Little Caesars.
Party City, you go. I remember going to Party City for what's this thing in March, St. Patrick's Day, Party City for Cinco de Mayo, Party City for graduation, for Party City for all these different events, because they had all types of things for these events. But apparently not enough people were buying stuff because they ended up with $1.7 billion in debt. And I mean, who would have known that they had so much debt with so many of these party suppliers and stuff like that?
Party's over then. Well, I mean, I remember this happened back, years back. But like Toys R Us, they died. Kmart, right? They died.
I think Toys R Us died, but then somebody bought them and decided to keep it open, even though they know that they're probably losing money.
Oh, so it is open?
I don't know if all the stores are open, but I think they're still alive somehow. I don't know how.
Like Blockbuster.
There's only one
left.
Right,
and it's just really there for show.
No, it's only one left in Alaska because I don't know if they
haven't caught up.
They haven't caught up with internet or something like that. I don't know what's going on with Alaska.
Well, actually, I thought the one that was left was not in Alaska. It was in some Midwest. There's a documentary on it on Netflix, ironically.
Really?
And yeah.
Ironically on Netflix.
and I sort of got, and it's actually a show they made, like a sitcom. The same people that do Brooklyn 911 with Adam Sandberg. They did a show called like Blockbuster something, and it's about the store that's left, but it's like in Ohio or some shit, like one of those states. And yeah, the original owners just kept it open, and part of it is like just the nostalgia of going to there. But also in that place, they have a culture of like recommending the movies and like they have a community, so that's why it continued.
I think I did hear about a Blockbuster that is open on Airbnb that you could actually rent it out, and like they'll have the movies there. It has the Blockbuster theme, and you could like they'll have like a little theater room or like where you could lay out and pick a movie and
Yeah, but that's probably like
play it.
just like a replica. That's not like Blockbuster and
like sanctioned by by Blockbuster. Yeah, so
yeah. That's some guy with extra money and a few, brain cells that were probably burned in some festival in 2010 with Tiesto closing and Dead Mouse starting at 12. All right, 8 rolls deep. So what I'm trying to say here is things are dying. Economy is fucked. Google, Amazon, Microsoft firing thousands of workers. Is this the apocalypse?
It is okay.
Do we need to call Mel Gibson Apocalypto happening?
Okay, so
what's next? Little Caesars is running out of business because they can. I mean,
they can't compete.
They can't compete, and they sell cardboard for $3. Hey, no disrespect, Little Caesars. You're part of my childhood. You're part of me.
I think it would have to be that like somebody like Amazon delivers pizza to your house, kind of like that. Like if Amazon starts stepping into the pizza game, I think then Little Caesars is fucked. Like then you see Little Caesars being fucked, then Papa John's, like all those places.
Like what are some of these places? I mean, I don't know. The economy is getting scary. I'm really thinking of like starting to learn like an actual trade, like electricity or this. How much I know about trades. I'm like, I gotta learn electricity.
I gotta learn electricity, just how it works and shit. How do you
harness it?
How do you get power in the wall and shit?
Is there a course on that? No, but like, bro, like how to drive a forklift, like.
No. I don't think you're gonna need any of that. No? We're getting to the point where, dude, the other day I saw this Boston Dynamics video of a robot, dude, doing flips and jumping from place to place, flipping, throwing things, catching things. It's insane.
You look like Eddie Gordo from Tekken. I saw that video. Yeah, he's jumping and he has a flow to his jump. The robot.
Exactly, something that I have never done. Like something that I wouldn't possibly even think about doing. And it's a robot. This shit weighs like 500 pounds or some shit. I don't know, like half a ton.
Okay. So what are some trades that we could learn? Because like you're a mechanic, right? So that's like an amazing trade. I mean, it's. I mean, I'm not saying robots cannot do your job, but you kind of need a human there, at least for the next foreseeable future. So what are other things? I mean, like, obviously computing, right? Knowing how to handle programs and shit. But, like, what about real world stuff? Like, I don't know. Like an air traffic guy, the guy that goes like this. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to see what I can learn as a trade that can maybe one of those jobs that people normally think like, oh, does that make money? No, this is what really runs the country, you piece of shit.
Think about a trade that you think that the company needs to, that the world runs on, right? Then think of that same trade and ask yourself, can a robot accomplish that trade? Can you see a robot doing this with the arms and this and that and that? I mean, like, how? I'm like, okay.
Okay, Kiko, you remember how the Boston Dynamic robot was doing flips? Right. So maybe he can learn how to do this.
now motherfuckers doing like the ribbon shit from the like Olympics and shit.
No, but I mean, I said this so that people can know what I'm talking about. But this guy needs to know like a bunch of shit.
mind you, in our working
And if you know
lifetime,
how to dance and do the dance, it's even better.
in our working lifetime, maybe that's not gonna happen. But I can see that in the future, where I mean, most of these menial tasks that we don't really do or can do, I mean, sorry, that we don't want to do, are gonna be taken over by robots. Anywhere from preparing burgers from McDonald's to, I don't know, performing brain surgery. I don't know. Like, these things can be achieved by robots with the assistance of a human. But to what extent, like, how, I mean, maybe one person could be monitoring 3 or 4 different robots.
Okay, right. Like you're not doing the job yourself, but you're more monitoring the robots.
Right.
You don't want them learning too much.
But then you can have a robot to monitor the robots. And then that's when we're fucked, because
that's when you get I am legend type shit.
more like AI takes
iRobot.
over,
iRobot,
Terminator, iRobot, all that shit.
Well, I've heard from like very smart people that they say like, look, robots are gonna be able to do a lot of the things that we need done, right? Like physical, like driving, this and that. But it's like a robot cannot mimic ingenuity, like creativity, like creation of ideas, and that's, I think, the most valuable capital we have as humans. I mean, that's the argument on that side. The other argument on the other side is like, well, if you can AI and teach it to like auto teach itself, then maybe it can auto teach itself to fucking have ideas and create solutions and shit. Like, I mean, I can see both arguments, but I like to believe that we live in a world where humans do have something special, and even though we can make robots do most of the work, the part that's most essential, the creativity, the creation of ideas, that's something that would have to come from humans. I would like to think.
I want to say that I agree. For the moment, because it could only like even if you tell a robot to create create a world where Mario is in court or something like that, it could generate an image of Mario in court, but it could only generate that image based off of previous images of the court, previous images of Mario, previous images of whatever like it is that you're asking it to do, and then compile that into a new idea.
Like, this new website that has some AI, like Chat GPT or some shit,
Something like that.
Where you could tell it like, okay, write me an essay with the attitude of Mozart about the 19th, century revolution, okay, and it will do it. You could tell it, write me a piece of music, right, that is similar to like Beethoven's symphonies, right? And this thing would give you a new piece of music that it sounds as if it was written for Beethoven. But what's happening there is like you just mentioned, he's searching the world for all the information there is, learning how Beethoven, his pieces are, then searching, I would assume, how to create what are the compositions, the notes that you need in a progression to create a symphony, and then match it with the style of Mozart, and this is but it cannot on its own create like spark that original spark of fire where you say this is new. And that, I like to think that's something that we have as human, like that thing to be creative and create an idea. And like, if you look at animals, animals are creative, right? You see a monkey, or you see, monkeys are very smart, but like even with like a beaver, they're like, okay, look, we need to build a dam, right? So let's be creative. Maybe if we put the thing like this, it actually holds more. Oh, and they're creative, right? So they can have creativity for small little tasks. But I think what humans are able to do is that we can be creative, and then, but once we get to the beaver, we're like, okay, now how can we apply this to a larger system and scale it? And that's when an idea can impact so much more and become a fire idea, I think. And guys, Jordan Peterson is with us today. Come in.
Oh, man.
But I don't know. Well, maybe people out there that can tell us what their own ideas are. Tell us some of your ideas. Tell us what you think about like the crisis that might be coming in 2023. A lot of jobs being laid off? How are you taking this time? What are some of the things that you think is good to learn now? That we're in a transition era where like you need to always be on the learning of the news. It's not like our parents where they could just learn one thing and be good at it. No, we need to be good at learning new things all the time. So what are some of those good things that we can learn now to make money, and
or some skills or trades that would be useful, maybe not now, but in the next 5 or 10 years,
That too. If you're looking more long term, I'm trying to look for something now because at the end of the month the bills come. So no, but yeah, I think it's interesting. Or maybe find things that are worth doing now that you can do now and make money, but that will last at least some time in the future. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. The Broski Doodle's always with you. Subscribe to the thing. We're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on everywhere you can get podcasts. You can probably pirate this shit if you wanted to. It'd probably take you longer, but you could. And we support it. We support you pirating this. This is completely free. All right, John, much love. Little hug.
KIKO. Likewise.
Peace.
Peace.